On the other end of the phone, Sarah's voice was clearly choked with sobs, soft and heavy like cotton soaked in rain. "Emma, I'm so sorry, really sorry. I didn't take good care of you all." She paused, her breath coming in ragged gasps as if holding back tears. "I'll be back at school as soon as I'm done with my postpartum recovery. I'll definitely make amends for all the grievances you've suffered these days. I'm calling Lisa right now to talk about this. Don't be afraid, with a teacher here, no one will dare to bully you anymore." I gripped the phone so tightly that my knuckles turned white. Tears streamed down my cheeks and onto my navy blue school polo shirt, leaving small dark stains. The other girls around me also had red eyes. Stella secretly wiped away her tears, and Sophia clung to the corner of my clothes, her fingertips cold. When we hung up, Sarah's voice was already as hoarse as sandpaper rubbing against wood, but she still insisted on adding, "Tell the girls in the class to wait a little longer for me. I'll be back soon." The teachers present all hung their heads, and the corridor was so quiet that you could hear the wind outside the window. Lisa's face was as pale as a sheet of rice paper. She clutched her lesson plan tightly with both hands, her fingertips crumpling the edges of the paper. She didn't dare to look the principal in the eye, so she just stared at the tip of her leather shoes and couldn't even say a word in her defense. Later, I learned from Sarah that right after hanging up my call, she called the principal immediately and told him everything, how Lisa had favored Mike, how she had brushed off my pleas for help, and even the absurd comment that, "Your mom should stop wearing that floral dress." The principal slammed his desk on the spot and said, "That's not something a teacher should ever say," then summoned Lisa to his office that afternoon. The principal took a pack of tissues from his desk and handed it to me, his voice softer than before. "Go to the girls' bathroom to clean up first. The school nurse will be here soon." Only then did I lower my head to look at myself. I had a loose thread on my navy blue school polo shirt, and the left sleeve was stained with dust and small spots of blood. The wound at the corner of my eye was still oozing blood, and droplets slid down my cheek to my chin, dripping onto my collar. 2 of my fingernails on my right hand were torn off, revealing the pink flesh underneath, and it hurt terribly even to move them. Sophia immediately took my arm, carefully avoiding my wound. "I'll go with you." Her hands were warm, a little sweaty, but strong enough to calm my flustered heart. In the bathroom, she turned on the cold water tap, dipped a tissue in the water, and gently wiped the blood from my face. The water gurgled, but her tears fell into the sink one after another, mixing with the cold water and creating small splashes. "It's all my fault," she said in a choked voice, hitting her leg in self-blame. "Last time when Mike and the others made fun of you, if I had been braver and stood up to refute them with you, they wouldn't have gotten so bold." "It's not your fault," I forced a smile, even though every movement of my cheek made the wound ache sharply. "They're the ones who went too far. This time, we'll fight back together and let them know we're not easy to bully." As soon as I finished speaking, the bathroom door was pushed open. Emily, Stella, and several other girls walked in. Stella took a strawberry patterned band-aid out of her school bag. She carefully tore off the wrapper and stuck it on the small wound at the corner of my eye. "My mom bought this for me. It's waterproof, so it won't fall off easily." Emily took a needle and thread from her pencil case, sat on a small stool in the cubicle, and sewed up the loose sleeve of my polo shirt. "My mom taught me how to sew. It'll be fixed soon, and no one will be able to tell." A girl named Lily took off her hoodie and handed it to me. "Your clothes are dirty. Wear mine first, it's fleece-lined, so it's warm." They surrounded me, chattering away. Some fixed my hair, some wiped the dust off my hands, and others whispered about how to confront Mike's parents later. The sun shone through the bathroom window onto their faces. Looking at their serious and determined expressions, the grievance in my heart was gradually replaced by warmth. I realized I had never been fighting alone. I had so many friends around me who were willing to stand up and resist with me. On the way to the nurse's office, Emily walked beside me and calmly helped me organize my thoughts. "Mike's parents will definitely seize on the fact that you hit him first. Don't panic then, First, make it clear that they spread vulgar rumors about you and gave girls offensive nicknames. We can all testify for you. I already borrowed my mom's phone to call your parents. They said they're on their way to school and will be here in about 10 minutes. She paused, then took a note out of her pocket with a few key points written on it. I jotted down everything Mike and the others did. You can follow this when you talk later so you won't miss anything. And me, Sophia wiped away her tears, her eyes becoming extremely determined. Mike and the others made up vulgar stories about me in their Snapchat group, saying all sorts of things about me and boys. I never dared to say anything before because I was afraid of being laughed at. But this time, I'm not scared anymore. I'll tell my parents everything, and I'll make Mike apologize to me. He can't get away with bullying me like this. Stella also nodded vigorously, clenching her fists. They also made fun of my skin color and called me the African black girl. Last time I wore a new denim skirt, they said, dark skin looks bad in anything. This time, we'll make them understand that having dark skin isn't a mistake, it's wrong to mock others for it. When our group reached the nurse's office door, we happened to meet the school nurse coming over. She was a woman in her 50s. When she saw the wound on my face and my torn fingernails, she frowned and sighed, "Oh, honey, how did you get hurt so badly?" She took out some iodine and gauze, carefully treated my wounds, and said as she worked, "Next time something like this happens, protect yourself first. Don't fight head-on, okay?" I nodded, but thought to myself, if I don't fight back, they'll only get more aggressive. After the nurse treated my wounds, the principal came to tell us to go to his office. When we got to the door, we could hear arguing inside. It was Mike's mom, her voice shrill and piercing. "My son is such a good boy. How could he possibly bully someone? It must be the school's fault for not managing properly and letting other kids bully him." When we pushed the door open, I saw Mike and his parents right away. Mike was sitting on a chair with his head down. His face still had bruises from the beating I gave him yesterday, his hair was messy, and he looked a complete mess. As soon as his mom saw me, she jumped up from her chair, pointed at my nose, and yelled, "It's you who beat my son like this. How can you be so vicious, you little girl? I'll call the police and have you arrested. I'll make you go to jail." Spit flew from her mouth onto my face. I held back my disgust and took a step back. Mike's dad stood aside with his arms crossed, staring at me with a dark, menacing look like an angry lion ready to pounce at any moment. "Where are your parents? Call them here. I want to ask them how they raised their child to dare to hit someone." I ignored their shouts and walked straight up to the principal. I took my phone out of my school bag and opened the screenshots I had saved earlier. "Principal, here's proof that Mike spread vulgar rumors about my mom. He used a newly registered Instagram account to post on the school's Discord server and Facebook group, claiming my mom works in that kind of place. He even photoshopped a picture of my mom wearing a floral dress, blurred her face, and posted it online. Mike's Instagram account visits this new account every day. Who else could it be but him?" Mike's mom immediately rushed over to grab my phone. "You're lying. You must have photoshopped this. My son would never do something like this." Sophia and Emily stepped in front of me right away to stop her. "Don't touch her. If you have something to say, say it nicely. Good boy." I sneered and turned to look at Mike, who was huddled in his chair. I raised my voice. "Mike, do you dare to say you didn't do this? You called me big cow behind my back, imitated me running in front of the whole class, and said I'm big-chested but empty-headed. You made up vulgar stories about Sophia, saying she had something going on with that boy from the next class. You mocked Stella for her skin color, called her the African black girl, and photoshopped her picture to look like a gorilla before posting it in your Snapchat group. Do you dare to deny any of this?" Mike was so shaken by my questions that he hung his head even lower. His voice was as faint as a mosquito's buzz. I didn't." "You still dare to say you didn't?" Stella stepped forward, took her phone out of her school bag, and opened the Snapchat group chat history. This is your boys' group. It's full of messages where you made fun of us girls. And there's the photo you edited of me. Did you really think we'd never find out? Just then, the office door was pushed open. My parents, Sophia's parents, Stella's parents, and the parents of several other girls walked in. As soon as my dad saw the band-aid on my face and the blood stains on my polo shirt, his expression darkened instantly. He hurried over to me and gently patted my head. Honey, are you okay? I shook my head, but tears couldn't help but fall. My dad turned to Mike's dad, his voice as cold as ice. I heard your son gave my daughter an offensive nickname and spread vulgar rumors about my wife. So tell me, how are we going to settle this? My dad was half a head taller than Mike's dad. Standing there, he exuded such a strong aura that Mike's dad involuntarily took a step back. Mike's dad still tried to argue, it's just kids fooling around. There's no need to make such a big deal out of it. Besides, your daughter beat my son up like this, let's just drop it, okay? Fooling around? My mom took her phone out of her bag, opened the Facebook group page, and slammed it down on the table in front of Mike's dad. I wore a floral dress to pick my daughter up from school, and your son called me a streetwalker. Is that what you call fooling around? If you think this is just a joke, then I'll go spread rumors about your wife right now, saying she works as a hostess in a bar, and I'll Photoshop some pictures of her to post online. Would you like that? My mom's voice wasn't loud, but it was full of resolve. Mike's dad's face turned bright red, and he couldn't say a word. Sophia's mom also walked over and handed her phone to Mike's mom. Take a look. These are the terrible things your son wrote about my daughter in their Snapchat group. My daughter can't sleep at night and can't focus in class because of this. Do you call that fooling around? Stella's dad looked at Mike with a serious tone. What's wrong with my daughter having dark skin? Dark skin is healthy and beautiful. Who do you think you are to mock her? Who gave you the right to call her such a terrible name? The parents took turns speaking, leaving Mike's parents speechless. Mike's mom tried to throw a tantrum, but my mom gave her a sharp glare that made her step back in fear and stop talking. Seeing this, the principal quickly stepped in to mediate. Everyone, please calm down. Let's first investigate the matter thoroughly, and we'll handle it fairly. We won't favor anyone. Later, the school pulled up Mike's Snapchat chat history, his Instagram visit records, and the back-end data from the school's Discord server. It was confirmed that Mike was the one who spread the rumors and led the others in giving girls offensive nicknames. In front of all the parents, the principal announced the punishment. Mike would receive 2 major demerits, a school-wide notice of criticism, and would publicly apologize at the Monday morning flag-raising ceremony. He also had to compensate my mom for damaging her reputation and write a 5,000-word apology letter. The boys who joined in giving nicknames and spreading rumors each received 1 demerit, had to clean the campus for a month, and attend anti-bullying training. Lisa, for failing to handle the bullying incident in a timely manner and showing favoritism to the boys, was suspended for a month to reflect on her actions. She also had to attend teacher ethics training and could only return to work after passing an assessment. The patrol teacher, for taking sides, received a warning and had his monthly performance bonus deducted. Mike's parents refused to accept the punishment and kept arguing about wanting to see the school headmaster. But the headmaster already knew the whole story and had his secretary come out to pass a message. If you're not satisfied with the punishment, you can call the police or file a complaint with the Department of Education. But please don't cause a disturbance at school, it will affect the other students. Only then did they finally stop making a scene and left in embarrassment with Mike. Before leaving, Mike's mom gave me a fierce glare. I stared right back at her without backing down. I wasn't the scared little girl I used to be anymore. By the time we walked out of the office, it was already getting dark. The setting sun dyed the sky orange-red. My dad held my hand, his hands were big and warm, giving me a great sense of security. My mom tucked a strand of wind-tousled hair behind my ear, took a Hershey's chocolate bar out of her bag, and handed it to me. Eat something sweet, it'll cheer you up. I took the chocolate, peeled off the wrapper, and popped it into my mouth. The sweet taste spread in my mouth, and the grievance in my heart gradually faded away. If anyone bullies you again in the future, don't hold it all in by yourself. My dad patted my head, his voice gentle but firm. No matter what happens, your mom and I will always be here for you and support you. Okay, I nodded, and tears fell again. This time, they were tears of gratitude. Thank you, Mom and Dad. The next day at school, Mike didn't show up. Emily said his parents had asked for leave for him to lie low for a while. The boys in the class also became much more well-behaved. They avoided us girls when they saw us, didn't dare to call us offensive nicknames anymore, and even spoke to us cautiously. The girls, on the other hand, became more united. During breaks, we sat together in the classroom to discuss schoolwork. At noon, we went to the cafeteria to eat lunch together. After school, we walked home together. Whenever a boy tried to pick on one of us, everyone would stand up to help. When someone made fun of Stella's skin color, Lily would say, "Dark skin is so cool, what do you know?" When boys stared at Sophia, Emily would stand in front of her and tell them to leave her alone. A week later, Mike came back to school. His hair was cut short, the bruises on his face hadn't fully faded, and he looked thinner than before. When he walked into the classroom, everyone looked at him. He hung his head, walked quickly to his seat, and didn't dare to make eye contact with anyone. I sat at my desk and continued doing my homework, ignoring him. I knew he wouldn't dare to bully me anymore. A month later, Sarah returned to school after her postpartum leave. As soon as she walked into the classroom, she gave us all a big hug. She still had a faint scent of baby milk on her. "I'm sorry you all had to go through this," she said, her voice choked with emotion as she held us. "I'll never leave you all again." That afternoon, Sarah held a class meeting with the theme, "Say no to campus bullying, be brave to be yourself." She wrote the word, courage, on the blackboard and said to us, "Courage doesn't mean not being afraid. It means being willing to stand up to protect yourself and the people around you, even when you're scared. When you face bullying, don't endure it in silence and don't be afraid. Learn to fight back, and also learn to ask for help. You can turn to teachers, parents, or the police. There will always be someone who will help you." She paused, then wrote the word gender on the blackboard. "I know some people say girls should be gentle or girls shouldn't be so tough. But I want to tell you, gender has never been a constraint. Girls can be gentle, and they can also be brave. They can like pink, and they can also like black. They can be good at liberal arts, and they can also be good at science. No one can dictate what a girl should be like, only you can decide what kind of person you want to be." After the class meeting, Sarah talked to me alone. She took my hand and said gently, "Emma, you're so brave, I'm proud of you. But next time something like this happens, remember to protect yourself first. Don't fight head-on, okay?" I nodded, feeling warm in my heart. Later, the school organized anti-campus bullying activities and invited local police officers to give us lectures. The police officers showed us numerous cases of campus bullying and taught us how to identify it, protect ourselves, collect evidence, and seek help from the outside world. They emphasized, if you experience bullying, speak up immediately. Don't endure it silently. The law will protect you, the school will protect you, and you are not alone. That night, lying in bed, I reflected on everything that had happened. I used to feel inferior because of the hurtful nicknames, seethe with anger over the false rumors, and even get criticized by teachers for standing up for myself. But now I understand that bravery isn't the absence of fear, it's the willingness to stand up for oneself and others despite being afraid. Strength isn't about never crying, it's about wiping away tears and moving forward. My parents were right, gender should never define who we are. I can be Emma, the girl who cries, and also Emma, the fighter. I can be the Emma who loves math, and the Emma who loves boxing. I don't need to live up to others' expectations, I just need to be true to myself. I'm no longer that silent girl. I know that with enough courage and strength, no one can bully me. And when we girls stand together, no obstacle is insurmountable. The road ahead is long, but I'll carry this newfound courage with me. I'll also encourage more girls to be themselves, reject labels, and say no to bullying. Because I believe that every girl has the power to be her own hero.